Good morning, and welcome to the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. I am so glad that you have chosen to join us this morning. Could not be happier to see you all. I would like to introduce our out-of-area, very special practitioner all the way from Canada. Alberta, Canada. So, Linda Connolly, if you would bring us in with an invocation, please. I can't hear you, sweetie.
So after the invocation, I will go immediately into the readings. So let's breathe in together. Breathe into our bodies, breathe into our hearts, and bring ourselves present to this moment of the divine mind. For there is only one divine mind, one divine creative spirit that is the creator of all things. It is the creator of all that is good. It is so infinite in its knowing, infinite in its expression, infinite in its beingness. And it creates out in and out of itself to experience and express itself in form. So it is this divine mind that expresses itself in through all creation. It is that expresses itself in through and as me. For I am an individualized expression of the divine mind. So what is known in the divine mind is known in my mind. For the divine mind expresses and experiences itself in through and as me. So it is with a curious and curious mind that I explore my individualized expression of divine spirit. And as I know this for myself, I know and declare for each and every person here, for all creation, all human form, is an individualized expression of divine spirit, divine mind. This divine mind that answers our questions before the question is even spoken. Now, isn't that something worth exploring? And I am so thankful for this opportunity to explore and express as myself, as the individualized expression of divine spirit. And I am so thankful for the message that will be delivered so divinely as Reverend Patricia VanWoerkom, as she downloads her individualized expression of the divine spirit in her message today. I am so thankful for the music. I am so thankful for the production team that makes all this possible. I am so thankful for people who, when we are live, set up the room, put everything away so perfectly. And I am so thankful for this spiritual community. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to get to know the individualized expressions of each and every person that I encounter. I am so thankful for all this and more. And we release it by saying, and so it is. The latent divinity within us stirs our imagination, and because of its insistent demand, impels and compels our growth. Dr. Ernest Holmes, Practical Application of Science of Mind. The universe can only give us what we take. And since our taking is a thing of consciousness, the universe can only give us what we are aware of. Dr. Ernest Holmes. How to use the science of mind. You are here in order to enable the world to live more amply, with greater vision, with a finer spirit and of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world. Woodrow Wilson. And now, our music.
of the same flight, heading into the sun, shape shifting all the days until we are all one, 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 one. And I will heal you, and you will heal me, planting sacred seeds of synchronicity. Throw down your guard and trust before you suspect that there is nothing more, that this is all that you get, 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 all that you get. See here, golden child, we will move from complacency back into the wild. The mechanics of power are pulsing in your cells. Just stand up and connect. Hold tightly to your bell, 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 bell. We are all bright. We are all bright. We are all bright. Heading into the sun. We are all bright. Heading into the sun. We are all bright. We are all bright. Heading into the sun. We are all bright. Heading into the sun. We are all bright.
Ruth, I do not know where you find that music, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. So this month, we're talking about curiosity as a superpower. And it is a superpower, and it's one we are born with. Ever take a walk with a toddler? It might take an hour to go 25 feet from the front door. Look at any infant or toddler. They are born explorers. I mean, babies and their toes. Oh, they're so cute. They're little scientists. What happens when I do this? When I make this sound? When I drop this object? A young child's life, given a reasonably healthy environment, is ruled by wonder and curiosity. So what happens to us? We learn fear. Some as an innate response, sure, but parents and teachers and life experience teaches us fear and caution. And then we also learn guilt and shame along the way. Our nature, our temperament may lead us to an affinity for either shame or guilt, but we aren't born with either. We are born with curiosity and wonder. One of the more famous quotes in the Bible is about the need to become like children to enter heaven. This doesn't mean to become childish, but childlike. I love what Wayne Dyer once said. To be more childlike, you don't have to give up being an adult. The fully integrated person is capable of being both an adult and a child simultaneously. To be like a child is a powerful invitation to leave cynicism and fear and arrogance and learned helplessness and all that fatal, oh, I'm just going to give up and just accept things because that's just the way things are. No. When we are being cynical or arrogant or helpless, we're just being a dead adult. Wonder and curiosity and gratitude are the keys to heaven on earth. And this is true whether we hold those keys by being childlike or as Dyer's fully integrated adult. There's a wonderful Zen Buddhist teaching story about heaven and hell that I want to share. Some of you may know it. It's about a wise monk and a samurai. Now, samurai were a powerful hereditary military nobility in 12th to 18th century Japan until they were outlawed. Monks, on the other hand, are generally pictured as small and humble. So I want you to visualize, think about this monk meditating in some peaceful garden, just quietly meditating. And in storms, this hulking samurai in full armor, he barks out, "Old man, teach me about heaven and hell." Can't you just see the arrogant swagger and the voice full of presumed privilege and the habits of power? And he just fills the space with that energy. And the monk just stays in meditation with his eyes closed. And he slowly opens his eyes with a little smile. And he says with great disdain, "You wish me to teach you? How can I teach you anything? You are dumb. You are unkempt and dirty. Your sword is rusty and neglected. You are an embarrassment to the samurai class. Be gone." The samurai becomes enraged. And you can just see him turning red. And he pulls his sword out and he gets ready to separate the poor little monk's head from the rest of his body. And as the sword's coming down, the monk looks him directly in the eye and says, "That is hell." The samurai is thunderstruck. What is the monk doing? How could he put himself in a place of such risk to teach him? And the samurai is just filled with awe and gratitude. And the monk, still looking him dead in the eye, says, "And that is heaven." The samurai, via his question, his curiosity, was thrust, and not gently, into wonder and gratitude and curiosity. How did and why would a monk take that kind of risk with a powerful warrior? Because the monk's goal was transformation. And transformation is life's goal for us also. And curiosity is one of God's tools. Now, last week, I spoke about the refiner's fire that uses heat to melt us like precious metal to separate our impurities. those being the partial truths and the limiting beliefs that we pick up in this life of learning to be a human being. This week, I want to use the metaphor of light and shadow. A fire also sheds light into the darkness so that we can see more clearly. Psychologists since Carl Jung have spoken of the shadow, which is another word for our blind spot. The shadow is that place within us where we listened to partial truths or other people's opinions of us. And those opinions and partial truths told us that parts of ourselves should not be seen, should not be heard. They were to be hidden or denied if we were to be good boys and good girls, and if we wanted people to like us and to want to be with us. And so we listened, we learned, and we came to believe these opinions to be truths about us. We hid aspects of ourselves because we were ashamed or afraid to show them in public. For me, it was the belief that I was too much, too loud, too rambunctious, too curious, too opinionated, although in truth, in my family, to simply have an opinion of my own was too much. I was a Tigger in a world of critical adult rabbits who absolutely knew how I should be in the world. The messages were clear. Be quiet, be sedate, stay in my own lane, never question adults or conventional wisdom, wait my turn, be dull and dutiful. It was hard, and I was not really successful. How many shy or naturally quiet children were pushed to the front to perform in public, to speak up or to be adventurous? What if you didn't want to swim in the deep end of the pool or jump off the high dive or go on a wild carnival ride? It's hard not being allowed to be you. To return to childlike wonder requires us to look at the dark places within us. Curiosity is what gives us courage to explore what is in shadow. In shadow, not complete darkness. Armed with the light of curiosity and led by the courage of curiosity, we can start to see what we have hidden away, to look at beliefs that we may have accepted as binary, black or white, this or that, right or wrong, and to begin to tease out the shades of gray. For me, there are times it is good to be quiet, times of contemplation or meditation, while listening to music or reading, or to paraphrase St. Francis, times to understand rather than to be understood, to listen rather than to be heard. Times to tread gently and lightly and not just bulldoze ahead, like bouncing like tiger, unheeding of my surroundings. And there are times it's good to just bust out with laughter and joy, to dance like no one is watching. It's all good. Just takes a bit of discernment, or what is now known as emotional intelligence. Curiosity in and of itself is transforming. It grows our awareness, sparks our imagination, expands our conscious awareness, our consciousness. We can use our curiosity to build our mental equivalents, and it opens us to receive more of life's good, more of God's good. Curiosity is a superpower that can transform our lives. It can lead us into situations and open doors that we never knew existed. Quite some time ago, I was thrust, much like our samurai, out of my habitual place and needed to find a new way. I was unexpectedly leaving a long-term relationship and needed a better job to support myself. I had 3 years of a liberal arts college education, which without a degree was pretty much useless, had no real technical skills. Having worked in a furniture store, I knew that sales was not a native talent. But the bookkeeper made good money, and it looked simple enough. I was curious, and so I signed up for a community college bookkeeping class. Halfway through the class, I started applying for jobs. Curiosity had led me to explore something completely new for me. I developed a new idea about myself, a new mental equivalent, and I took it out for a test drive to see if it worked. Again, that's a function of curiosity, just like a young child. So what happens if I do this? Long story short, a job agency sent me for an interview for the church secretary position at the Monterey Church of Religious Science. I ended up with a job, and more importantly, a community that welcomed questions, supported personal growth and change, who actually liked my tiggeriness. So who knew these folks existed? I didn't know that. As we allow the light of curiosity and wonder back into our lives, we can rediscover our own and own parts of ourselves that we shoved into that shadowy closet. I discovered that even though I routinely failed tests and did poorly in math classes, I was actually good with numbers. Curiosity and wonder allow us to live our own life out loud. Out loud means in the light and with joy and confidence. We can let go of being daddy's little girl or mama's good boy. We don't belong to our past. We are not owned, nor do we owe our parents or teachers or mentors a tithe of our life. We are made in the likeness of God and are containers for all of God's limitless good. As these magnificent expressions of the divine, all that we are and all that we experience is the divine having its way through us and as us. We are called to live life to its fullest. And when we dive in, filled with curiosity and imagination, we are answering this call. We are here to explore and discover the sheer wonder of the life that we are. I ask that you recognize and know yourself as an expression of the divine and to live your life to its fullest. Do not hold back in fear. Dive in with curiosity and allow the joy and wonder of God to be the expression as you. There's only one of you. You are a singular, magnificent, shining light. So don't hide your light under a bushel, as the old saying goes. Don't dampen it by thoughts of not being enough. Shine. Shine brightly. Shine brilliantly as you live life out loud. Curiosity is your superpower. Dive in. Now, if you would like to join me in prayer. In the continuing awareness that there is only one, there has always only been the one life that lives as us. That out of itself created all that we see, that is a field of infinite variety, a quantum field where form comes and goes, but the life is always there. And that life is in me, has always been in me, will always be in me. It is my life now. As Ernest Holmes says, there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that life is my life now. And that life is your life now. And perfect means whole, holy. There is a unity. There is a belonging. There is a connection to that center of life. And it exists in every cell of my body. So every cell is connected to pure life, to vital health, to energy. It's not even renewable energy. It's ever-present energy that thruns through me, through every cell, through my body, through all of my relationships, to include the relationship with money and abundance. There's a flow, ever-present, infinite flow of good flowing in through and as me, and flowing in through and as you, because I know that what is true for me is true for you. It's true for all. And so I accept this life fully and completely. And I allow the gift, the tool of curiosity and wonder to bloom in my life so that I shine. Say it to yourself. I shine. And I give thanks for answered prayer. And so it is. Thank you, guys.
If I could look down on this path I walked from somewhere way up high, I could see the crooked road that I have come. I walked a mile with sorrow, I walked a mile with joy, and now I'm less afraid of either one. For every tear I've cried, there's a smile that I have earned. For every mile I walk, there's a lesson I learn. I'm not lost, I am exploring. Life is an adventure worth enjoying. Though I may not know where I'm going, I am not lost, I am exploring. Some people choose to live their lives on quiet avenues, while others find a place in the parade. Some like me are seekers, we take less traveled roads, believing we can find a better way. And though I get discouraged, I won't be turning back. I have joy as my compass and faith as my map. I'm not lost, I am exploring. Life is an adventure worth enjoying. Though I may not know where I'm going, I am not lost, I am exploring. headed for the same destination. So why not blaze a trail that's got imagination? I'm not lost, I am exploring. Life is an adventure worth enjoying, though I may not know where I'm going. I am not lost, I am exploring. I am not lost, I am exploring. I am not lost, I am exploring.
Yes, curious mind, exploring a life that is worth living. And with that, this is our offering time. And giving an offering is a sacred service. Because as we receive these divine messages and we receive the gifts of knowing each other in our sacred spiritual community, we receive, and as we receive, we give, and as we give, we receive. It is that keeps us going, that keeps us coming back, that keeps the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, our vision and our mission and purpose as a spiritual community. It is through your giving that we continue to grow and expand as the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. Now, that is something worth exploring and being curious about. Like, infinite possibilities. How big can we get? Yes. So now we do have multiple ways to give. You can go to our website, and it's a great website that's always changing, being updated. I love it. And there you can click on the donate button, and you can give through PayPal, you can give through Square, debit, credit, whatever's calling you. Or you can also find our post office box and mail a check. There's no limits in the ways that you can continue to offer and give. And we do appreciate all your gifts, all your offerings. Then remember, you're also given to yourself as a tax deductible on your income tax, which, we're all filling out this year, right? It's that time. So just think, all that you gave last year, you get to write up. Now, isn't that a gift that keeps on giving? It just excites me. So thank you. Now, as we stay muted, let's say together our abundance affirmation. Abiding by the law of circulation and in heartfelt gratitude, I affirm that I live in a creative and abundant universe that continuously flows in, through, and out as me, expressing as the ever-expanding infinite good. And so it is. Now, we do have also on our website, sacscsl.org, a place where you can go to put your prayer requests online. They are received and then they are dispersed to the ministers and to all us practitioners, where they are prayed over and on our altars all week long. It's a powerful offering and it's a powerful gift that you get to give to yourself. Yeah. And now, Reverend Patricia, I turn it back to you.
Ta-da-da, ta-da-da-da. Time for the latest news. biggest thing coming up is our annual meeting in potluck, which will be next Sunday, the first Sunday in March, the 5th. And the pictures of the people on the left are the 2 board members that are up for election, Max Overland and Carol Unterseher, both of which have been members of our community and are just incredibly talented. And we can't wait to get their consciousness and their skills onto the board. But come and learn what we have done and what we plan to do at the annual meeting, and bring your food because it's going to be a potluck, and you know that we do good potlucks. We've been talking about, we meet at the Citrus Heights Community Center on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Sundays. Next Sunday is the first Sunday, so that's where we're going to be for our annual meeting. Please come join us. If you can't join us in person, we are always on YouTube Live. And if you're a member of the community and aren't able to be at the annual meeting, we're going to have Zoom set up so that you can be part of it. So come join us. Now, we keep talking about our website, and because it's a lovely website, that's why we keep talking about it. It has everything you need to know about us, ongoing events, the current events, all of that. And when you first bring up the website, saccsl.org, what you're going to see is this. And this is how you can connect easily to YouTube Live to hear our talks on Sundays. We'd like you to subscribe to our channel, because if you do, you get 2 benefits. One is that you get notified when we go live, and it's a link that you can easily connect to. And you can check out all of our previous recordings. We've got about 3 years archived. So you can get to it by clicking on the YouTube channel. So that's a wonderful thing. I thought there was another slide. Okay. Linda, why don't you come back and do our affirmation and our benediction.
And our affirmation, our gift, another gift you get to receive for the week is, today I live life to the fullest. Yes. And now, following our benediction, please remember that we can stay and gather on Zoom. It's not recorded, so we can just relax and connect with each other. And so for the benediction, so let's breathe in. Let's breathe in and through our hearts, connecting our mind and our heart so we can be curious, we can explore life. For we are containers of infinite good, living life to the fullest as an individualized expression of the divine. And we have this superpower that Reverend Patricia talked about, of curiosity, that curiosity that lets us explore our life, our individualized expression, for there's infinite possibilities. Now that's worth being curious about. And so take your open and curious mind throughout this week in your heart and explore the world as you, expressing as the divine spirit. And with that joy, we release it by saying, and so it is.
There is always a light when we are ready to see it. There is always a light when we are ready to be it. To see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night, to climb this hill, together we will. There is always a light in the dark. We are ready to see it. There is always a light in the dark. We are ready to be it. To see the light, to be the light, to raise around the dark of night and be a gift. Together we will. There is always your light. There is always dark. We are ready to see it. There is always your light. There is always dark. We are ready to be it. To see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night and be a gift. Together we will. There is always light. There is always dark. There is always dark. To see the light, to be the light, to shine in the dark night and be a climb this hill. Together we will. There is always shine. There is always dark. There is always shine. There is always dark. Be the light.
Hi.